Shout out Brave Culture for my fabulous sweatshirt or jumper, as my English friends would say, my fabulous jumper. But it's comfy, cozy, and it's become one of my favorites. I call it one of my defaults, because it feels like it's a blanket on the inside. Like seriously, I'll put the link in the description for where you can get the sweatshirt because the sweatshirt is doing it. It's gonna be one of my winter staples. That's what I wanted to say. But I'm Dara. Welcome to Dear Hallmark, where I gush about Hallmark movies and how and so ever. I know you saw the title and you're like, wait, Lifetime, Dear Hallmark, there's a server failure, does not compute. So we accept Lifetime during the Christmas season. We accept them into the family. But once Christmas is over, we kicking them straight out the house, okay? We're kicking them straight and smooth out the house. But for this winter season, we're going to welcome Lifetime in, give them a seat at the table. And for this installment of kind of our winter movies, or I should say our holiday movies, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Christmas on Wheels. Hello! I can't even tell you who stars in it because I just had an unction to talk to you guys about it. I saw it. I was gonna say last night. I'm recording this on a Sunday, so I saw it on a Saturday with some friends, and it was surprising because I went into it completely blind. So, which was kind of like an adventure watching it because I'm like, wait, how is this movie going to go? Like, what is happening right now? So, the characters, Ashley, who's played by a gorgeous Indian woman, and then the guy Duncan, who I believe he played in a movie, or he starred in a movie with Keisha Knight Pulliam, that I don't know the name of it, but it's about where she's a Philadelphia radio host, and she ends up, because the station goes down, she gets relocated to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and he's there, and she ends up falling in love with a small town, loves it. Of course, they fall in love. I think he played in that movie too. And he's African American. He Blake. And so, okay, the premise of the movie is we have this young woman who, she lost her mother, and her mother, they grew up in the small town of Robbinsville. I don't know what state we're supposed to be in. Just know the town is called Robbinsville, and she lives in Seattle, I think. Is it Seattle? I watch a lot of Christmas movies. I have to get my stuff straight. But she comes from the small town of Robbinsville, and her mother's car is something that's dear to her because in that car, it was a red convertible, classic like 60s convertible, and her mother would drive around town and give gifts to everyone, and it really made an impact on the town. And so she gets a call from her uncle's girlfriend to be like, yo, come. Your uncle broke his foot. Don't tell him I told you, but just like pop up on the kid and tell him what's up. Give him a gift. Spend Christmas with us. You know what I'm saying? So she pops up on a kid, and Uncle Tony, he's become my uncle. Uncle Tony got swag. For the whole life of me, I couldn't tell if this man was not half, but like if he was mixed with African American and white, or if he was just a soulful white man. Like, I could not, or if he was just a tanned white man. Like, I could not tell. Because, first of all, the way he was twirling that walking stick, I'm like, that brother's a Kappa. I'm sorry. He pledged Kappa Psi, and he even did a little, like, Temptations pivot, and I'm like, what in the 70s disco do we have going on here? Uncle Tony the actor who played Uncle Tony, I love you, and I'm calling you Uncle Tony from now on. So she goes there, gives Uncle Tony a walking stick. They end up having dinner, and then there's a guest at the door. Who's that? The gentleman Duncan. So Duncan and Ashley meet before she actually goes off to meet her uncle, or surprise pop up on her uncle. She's at a Christmas auction, and she sees this beautiful angel bell. It's one of those like handbells, but the hand part is of an angel, and it's gold, and has like a bronzy finish, and it's just gorgeous. And so she kind of sees this, she sees a guy who's also looking to bid on it. And she tries to, diss the product by saying, it's, there's a bit of specs, there's some damage, whatever. And so they end up in a bidding war, and he ends up outbidding her 500 to 210 on the Angel Bell, and he ends up taking it. And she's like, well, I guess you have some sentimental value. And he's like, associated with the bell. He's like, no, I just figured it's a good investment and it'll double its value in a few years' time. So, and he ends up almost forgetting it when he walks away. Like, oh my goodness. So going back, he's actually her uncle's estate lawyer. And so he works in estate law, and needless to she's going on her tirade of, oh, you're here to probably sell off priceless stuff. And she was like, just like my mom's car. And Uncle Tony says, well, we gave that away, honey. Like, we sold it. She was like, what? And he said, well, you said that I could, because I asked you if you wanted it, and you said do what you feel like is best. And so then Duncan and Ashley go on this hunt to find the car. So they end up finding the car. And then the rest of the movie is about them restoring it and finding out truly how her mother impacted the community with the gifts that she gave. And come to find out how Duncan was one of those people who were impacted by it. And even how he was checking for the kid Ashley even at a young age. And he kind of just, he spit his game a little bit, but Ashley was not trying to hear it. And it's so funny because you could tell throughout the whole movie. And this was something that I liked and appreciated about this movie. He was spitting game. He was making moves, but you could feel it. Every time he tried, she would quickly change the subject or quickly move on, or quickly get away to get herself out of that situation. And she realized it was because she said there was this void in her, and she kept trying to run away from things instead of actually dealing with it. And so she decided to revive the toy drive that her mom did with giving out, the gifts to people. And on the day of the toy drive, the car wouldn't start. And mind you, they fixed it up. It was working fine. And then she said, oh, I know why. And she goes and finds Duncan. And it's like, it's because of you. Now, that's the one thing that I feel like lacked in this movie. It wasn't a real... It didn't feel real in terms of her realizing, what was wrong or what was missing. It felt forced. And I didn't believe her that, when she was in the car, she was like, oh yeah, what I'm missing is you. And then she goes to, I didn't believe that she actually liked him in a sense. I believed he liked her. He was committed. But that ending it was kind of lackluster for me. So let me know your thoughts. I can't even rate this movie. I just wanted to talk about it and let you know that I am watching some Lifetime movies, but of course I'm watching more Hallmark than Lifetime. But we are getting a couple of sprinkles of Lifetime movies in the mix. It's a little trail mix, because I'm also going to be doing some Netflix movies as well. There's Jingle Jangle, Operation Christmas Drop. There's The Princess Switched again. I think it's called The Princess Switch. Which I definitely want to see that, because that I enjoyed the first one. I wish they did, or I wish there was some kind of sequel or something to Night Before Christmas with Vanessa Hudgens, because I really enjoyed that one. And I love when they're able to merge the historical with the modern, much like A Timeless Christmas, which is why I loved A Timeless Christmas so much. The way they were able to mesh the medieval period with the modern period, I enjoyed so much. So I at least have those three that I'll be watching. Operation Christmas Drop, The Princess Switch 2, and Jingle Jangle I'll be watching. I don't know if they have any other Christmas movies, but those three I'm interested in. I'll most likely review those on this channel. We just, we let people in at the Christmas table here. But once Christmas is over, and we're going to get back to Hallmark movies. Because, Hallmark has they actually have, Hallmark has this winter movie coming out, I think December 3rd or 4th. It comes out called Winter in Vale or something like that. Oh my gosh. First of all, Vail, Colorado is a premier ski destination. And if you know anything about me, you know I have dual citizenship in the city and in the mountains. And Vail and Aspen are two of my top winter dream vacations, along with Switzerland. I should mention that. So the fact that they're doing a whole winter movie in Vail, Colorado, with Lacey Chabert, I'm like, y'all must just want to adopt me already. Like, I don't understand. Like, you might as well just sign the papers, adopt me now, because I'm here. I'm here. And we're going to review it. We're going to review that winter movie. I cannot wait. I can wait. But I'm very, very excited. So, you know, they have their New Year's Eve movies too. And then they have their spring, their Valentine movies, their fall movies, their summer movies. So we're going to review all of those movies here on Hallmark. So I said here on Hallmark. You better prophesy. I'm just, okay, I'm here. Here on Dear Hallmark. So that will conclude this review for Christmas on Wheels. What did you think? Let me know your thoughts. Are you watching other movies besides Hallmark movies right now? Like, are you watching any Netflix holiday movies or Lifetime holiday movies? What's your thoughts? Maybe Amazon should give it a try. Since they have a lot of Prime originals, I wonder if they're going to give it a try making some holiday movies themselves. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Well, thank you guys for joining me on today's, or whenever you watch this, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. But yeah, thank you for joining me for this installment of the Countdown to, or not Countdown to Christmas, because this is Lifetime, for holiday movie watching. And I will see you guys in my next video.